Hello, everybody. Welcome to What You Watchin', the bonus content from Cult Classics Podcast. Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host.
Oh, nice. He introduced us this time, Jordan. Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
We are post-Oscars, so you might be saying, are we going to do an Oscar roundup? No, not really, because we didn't probably see a lot of the movies collectively, I'm going to guess. But I did watch The Whale yesterday. Brendan Fraser just won, and he's also our boy. Here, I was talking to Jordan about this off air a second ago, but here's what I'll say about The Whale. It wasn't, I was staying away from it for a while just because I was like, I'm not in the mood for a sad drama right now. It's just going to be dark and heavy, but it wasn't as precious, like the movie Precious, as I thought, where it was just uncomfortable and hard to watch, you know?
So the question I have
Really
about
good.
that, right? Oh, go ahead, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
No, it did give off those precious, like,
Oh, and don't get me
The
wrong, it
movie
is
Precious.
just like, it is sad, but it's not like, I could watch it again. It's not that unbearable.
But Precious
you know?
is like an all-time downer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to compare it to Precious is like...
Yeah, I know, that
a
was,
bit of a
but just to
downer.
give a comparison.
no, the trailer, though, really, like, made it seem like it was going to be this, like, really sad story.
And it is. I'll say this. Brendan Fraser gives a really good performance, and I would even maybe say deserving of, like, you know, best actor. But the movie didn't exactly feel like an Oscar movie to me.
Well, that's
still,
good, because he won that, right?
Yeah, he did. And that's, I mean, I just support our boy, but
The movie
it didn't-
itself was not nominated
Yeah.
for all that money, except for, like, makeup.
It did. Yeah, because it didn't feel that grandiose of a movie.
Who
or
directed
that
it? Was there
moving.
anybody notable?
Not that I know of.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I was literally just talking about it a second ago, so I should know.
Oh,
but
shit.
no. Did anyone else see any other Oscar movies this year? I do plan on watching Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's been on my docket for so long. I'm surprised I didn't get around to it, but, I mean, now I have to, right?
I'm pretty sure it's streaming on Paramount Plus right now.
No,
if
it's
you
definitely
currently
true.
have
It's,
it.
like, easy to access.
Yeah, I'll get to that one. I mean, it just swept so many that I want to, but I have not yet seen it. Jordan, you probably have seen the most, if anybody.
Well, a lot less this year because I haven't gotten to get to go to the theaters. I did see that one, though. Saw it a couple months ago.
Did that take Best Supporting Actor and Actress?
It took
What was
it took literally everything except, like, Best Actor.
Yeah. Actress too, it took?
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yep.
Nope.
Yeah, okay,
she was
yep.
Best Supporting.
Or Best Supporting.
The main character, the lady from Crazy Rich Asians, the mom from that, she won Best Actor. And the guy that plays Data / Short Round from Indiana Jones, he made a resurgence. He won the Best Supporting Actress, Actor.
Did you see his speech?
Yeah, it was touching. It was really
super
good.
wholesome. Yeah, very good.
And
Actually,
seems like a genuinely very nice guy.
two things happened. I did watch the Oscars with Megs, right? And
Hu Kwan, if I'm saying that correctly, probably not, but
you know, Data from Goonies.
Data.
He did think his Goonies brother, and I'm like, who's that? Which one's that? Looked up. Think
Corey Feldman.
I think Chunk. Come on, nobody's. He thanked Chunk. He's
Oh,
like my
nice.
lifelong Goonie brother, whoever
No,
Chunk's
Captain
real name
Chunk.
is. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see them staying in contact.
so
Yeah,
that was kind of
sure.
fun. So I don't know if it's. I honestly I couldn't tell. A lot of the speeches were like emotional in a good way and like sweet
Sure.
and touching, but Megan was getting she was getting all verklempt by him, but I kind of found myself already getting verklempt. I think it's because I'm a dad now. I get more emotional, not much more.
It happens with age. I mean, it's weird what gets me. It's often never.
It's a great
things-
word, by the way, verklempt.
Verklempt. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can tell you what. I'll tell you what's going to get us for Verklempt in 2 weeks. This is I don't know if it's a spoiler alert, but the end of Terminator 2 is going to get me all emotional.
The thumbs up. Yep. Look forward to our full episodes for the Terminator series. Well, just the first two,
which are just FYI on HBO Max, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to.
Oh, that's huge.
They
That's
have all of them.
big time, baby.
In not Oscar news, just some things I've actually watched recently. We haven't really talked about the Last of Us series too much, but that just wrapped up. Just to kind of give a season wrap up.
Caesar salad.
Caesar salad. There shouldn't really be any spoilers, but also, I mean, it's the game. There's content. It's been out for a while. But I feel like overall they did a very good job on the series staying true to the game. The things they did expand on just added more
Cameron, can I
depth.
ask you what did you think about the game? Like, it's literally my favorite game I've ever played. Like that type of I wouldn't call it role playing game, but it's like
it's a very
slow,
cinematic,
methodical, stealthy cutscenes.
Because it's motion capture, it's acted, it's very cinematic, it's a storytelling game. That's why, because it plays like a movie, therefore it's very easy to translate games like that to a series or to a movie. I will say it felt like a little rushed in the whole end of the series, and that's my only complaint. That most of the time as a podcast and a network, we're complaining, hey, get rid of these series, let's cut it down to a movie. But this is one case where there's so much material and they were already extending things for more character depth that like I could have taken more.
It was what, nine episodes?
9 or 8 or something like that.
So
yeah.
the first, just for an example, just kind of proving your point, the first episode was like the first 5 minutes of gameplay.
Sure.
But then like the last episode was maybe like
the last 2 hours.
2 hours of gameplay. They kind of, I don't know why they felt like they needed to
condense so much.
I am so to me though. All right, movies or
Jordan,
TV shows.
You haven't played the game. Have you been watching it?
Haven't played the game. Haven't watched the series.
Okay.
I might watch it. I don't know. I'm sure I could watch it without playing the game.
Pedro Pascal is still just.
I like him. He
and
seems like a good guy. He's
everything.
having like
Yeah.
a real good couple years. What
Sure
I'm saying
is.
is though, to compare like a good video game adaptation, which just seems to be like the first one collectively, right? Kind of.
Yeah,
That
somewhat.
nailed it. It feels like a movie that's based on a novel or a short story. The bones and the characters are there, but you got to create a story around it, right? Did
Yeah.
they do that? They had to elaborate quite a bit
Well,
more
it was
than the game.
not much because it was already kind of there. Again, this is a motion capture game that has actors and like it already kind of was very zombie apocalyptic series esque that you didn't.
Is
have
this
to do
a
much.
one and done season, or they kind of?
Well, there's
they just
a
tapped
second
the well.
game.
All right,
They
so.
have- they have to
there's a second
do the
game.
second
I imagine
game.
they're going to do the second game as well for a series.
I
too.
may
They could've
watch
split
it
up into
sometime.
4 seasons though. Like,
Yeah, they could have elongated it so much. I mean, I respect it a bit because we do often complain about that. They make series too long and you could condense things down and they add too much bullshit. But this is one time where I think they have enough material to go off of. And I think it's just because I'm a fan. It's just bias that I want more
When
of
it comes down to a show like this, and there's plenty of examples, maybe this one's really, that much better than a lot. I love the first season, but I don't want to sign up for a series.
Okay.
However it ends, I enjoy the ride, and I'm not going to watch season 5 of Westworld.
Well, I am curious about The Last of Us season 2 when they move on, because the second game was much more graphic and you did a lot more human on human killing in the zombie world.
she's also a few years older. I wonder how they're gonna age Ellie.
and just things of that nature. Just kind of curious, but
I think as someone who, if I hadn't played the game, I would think like is this supposed to be a zombie show?
yeah,
There are barely
it was
any zombies.
it
Like,
was
if
a
I've
little
seen one
confusing.
zombie show, I've seen them all. Like it's a virus happens. In this case, it's whatever fungus. But I don't know. I think if I hadn't known the lore and loved the game so much, I'd be out on it.
Well, it is interesting though. I mean, because there are so many zombie things that like this one did just lean this series did lean more just on the human interaction and the character stories rather than
What it's like to live amongst it instead of like dealing with hordes.
They
of zombies.
essentially, they essentially gave us all the dialogue and they cut out the hours of you crouching and shooting zombies. Is essentially what they did. So I mean,
I would have loved to see a little more zombies.
I get it. Yeah, me too. A little.
So that I guess that's probably a couple more episodes.
My
you'd
guess
have
is,
to-
though, that based on the water cooler talk and all the buzz I hear about this, you don't need to play the game. It's just a good show, right?
Again, because they did a good adaptation.
See, that's cool to me. That's cool because like
I would assume so. I don't know.
I love it all so much, but
it's very
Oh.
true to the game. So yeah, so you
Yeah.
do pretty much get it without having to play it. But if you're into cinematic games, it's a great one to do. Speaking of adaptations, this is going a little bit to Jordan. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's that new horror movie, Knock at the Cabin. It's actually really good.
this is what you guys were telling me about a band practice.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of it. So
It's
thank
the
you.
movie with David Bautista, and he's the only person I really recognize from it. Oh, never mind. Rupert Grint's in it from the Harry Potter series.
I
Fucking-
Ron Weasley.
They essentially
Weasley?
they take 5
Mm-hmm.
people in a cabin and they have to sacrifice themselves for all of humanity, right? That's the gist.
Yeah, so it's essentially a what if or a thought process
Wow,
where
I love that.
where these strangers show up to a family on vacation at a cabin, and they tell them that the family has to choose one of the family members to be a sacrifice, and the family has to kill that person, otherwise the world will end.
I'll quote the
Please
Simpsons.
don't spoil.
Dad.
I'm not gonna say anything else, but it's just a very interesting thriller where you're wondering, like, is it real? Is it not real? Are they gonna choose somebody? Like, how are people's minds developing with this crazy choice, and is it real or not?
So I do have to go back to a fact that Cameron did say, but just so people understand, this is not written by M. Night Shyamalan. He just is the director.
No, it is based off of a best-selling horror book. I forget. I think it's called like The Cabin at the End of the World. I think is the book, but it's just an adaptation directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Try getting that on Airbnb. It's booked up. I can tell you that much.
Does he show his face in the
He
film?
does. Yep.
Yeah.
He makes a cameo in classic M. Night.
Is he
fashion.
sucking on a toe or something, licking some feet?
Newscaster. It's part of a newscast, if I remember.
Newscaster crew.
It's good though. You should check it out. The one maybe just complaint film wise, I'll say, is I watched it with my wife and a roommate, and sometimes they have a lot of like zooming in close up, like tight shots on faces with the blurry background, just like going in and out of focus, and I kind of got tired of those shots.
iPhone calls that portrait mode.
Yeah, essentially, it's a lot of portrait mode to make something intense where they're zooming in on someone's face and like we're blurring out in the background, but it's just a lot of those shots.
Half of my I started off way too many portrait mode pictures of Avery, and then I'm like, you know what? I better just have the background in there too. I don't want to act like I'm hiding something. So we're evolving.
Mix of everything. Keep it a nice mix of everything. Get those artsy ones in there.
The moment you find out about portrait mode, you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like
There's no going
I'm an
back from here.
influencer
Yeah.
on Instagram.
So something. Oh, has anyone caught that top 10 show on Netflix right now? We Have a Ghost.
No, but title alone, I'm in.
It's with David
It's a TV
Harbour.
show. I thought it was a movie.
It's a movie.
Oh, good.
David Harbour from Hopper from Stranger Things. The Falcon from the Avengers. What's his name? Shit.
I don't know. The Avengers.
Chris Evans?
No, I'll get to it in a second. But essentially, it's a family moves into a house. Their dad is just jumping from opportunity to opportunity. He's kind of a bad dad. And then they try to exploit the fact that there's a friendly ghost, David Harbour, in their house.
Nice. Yeah. Seems fun.
Yeah. I need to get this name or it's really going to bug me. Talk
What was
amongst
the name of that
yourselves.
again? We Have a Ghost?
We Have a Ghost on Netflix. Top 10 currently.
So I think this is Shyamalan, but I watched called Old.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch that recently?
Yeah. Did I already talk about that in the last one?
No, I think you
No.
just talked to me about it during band practice.
Yeah. Yeah, Old. I mean, it's fine. It was fine to me.
So Old is what broke me out of. I had sworn for years that I'm not going to
Okay,
watch.
yeah.
And then
There's not
another
some
M. Night
crazy
Shyamalan movie.
twisty twist at the end. It's
But here's what
See,
happens.
and that is one you would want to avoid because of that. It's a him movie. He
Hear
wrote
me
it.
out,
There's
though. Hear
not
me
a
out.
twist,
If you
but-
recall when Old came out, the only options were like 3 movies. New
That's
options.
true.
And I had
That's
seen
true.
them. And how many more times can I rewatch?
What year is that? Like 2016?
No, it was like
It's like last
2020.
year, 2 years ago. Yeah, it's like within the last 2
really?
years for sure. Yeah.
There-
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It was
during
the 2
COVID,
years
there
where
wasn't much out.
they're like, hey, Top Gun
Yeah,
Maverick's
okay, I see
coming.
what you're
Don't
saying.
worry, we promise. But it didn't come. So I had to watch Old.
gotta
And I'm
watch
like,
Old.
it was
Tom
fine.
Cruise kept delaying it to make it better. But again, that movie poster did say something like exceeds
Oh, God.
expectations in every imaginable way. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So, it was worth it.
So that's
Anthony
that's
Mackie.
being-
Anthony
Oh,
Mackie.
Anthony Mackie,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's who I was looking for.
We Are Marshall.
He's your favorite
Yeah.
We Are Marshall guy. He holds on to the case of beer. That's where he got to start to me.
Coach.
That is a great, not great movie.
not
That gets me teary. That one gets me teary.
Oh man, that scene makes me cry every time.
Boo hoo, your whole team died in a plane crash. That's what I say.
yeah,
Play some
it's
fucking
pretty
football, guys.
terrible. What else have you guys been watching?
Not my cholesterol.
You should watch.
Probably
that.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
getting up there. The new PGA Tour documentary on Netflix called Full Swing. Really, actually insightful. It's kind of like their take on Drive to Survive, the Formula One.
This
Oh,
is
yeah, actually,
this
I
is
have
what
been hearing
every
about this.
sport
It's
should do.
pretty sick. Every sport should do
You
this. Yes.
here's why you make
That's why Hard
characters out
Knocks
of
is
people.
sick.
Exactly.
I've been hearing about this though. Is it as good as the Formula One? Would you say? Because I did get really sucked into one season of that.
I mean, it's just a bunch of really rich white men having drama, but yeah, they somehow with the music and the cinematography.
Here's what's
Are
great
they
about
picking unknown golfers and like young guys, or is it
No.
like
mostly known, like
mostly known? Okay,
top 50 guys.
but you know what's great about that? The 50 top most known golfers outside of golf fans aren't known. And that's why they're doing this. They're trying to make household names out of multi-millionaires that are just having it rough, just going out there swinging a club.
But for a sport that seems kind of just like really under lock and key, just as far as like even miking up the players, they've been better about it recently with like the matches with Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. But it's cool to see, like, I don't know,
The
them
human
swearing
aspect of
at
it.
the human aspect.
I was about
of
to
the
say,
sport and-
do we have any Happy Gilmore rules with the PGA? Like, I can't swear and I have to keep like good
tons of
etiquette,
them.
or no?
Yeah.
no, there's been some hot mic moments, even like so.
I was about to say, I feel like I have a memory of Tiger
You can
swearing.
swear,
when he
just
missed.
don't
swing your club and make a scene.
He was a GD guy. He was throwing goddamn it
Dude,
around.
yeah,
a lot.
that's what I thought. I was about to say, I feel
I'll
like
talk about something that Cameron that I'm pretty sure you're not caught up to date with, but this is more between me and Mark. This
Sure.
was probably in motion before the Live Tour, but it's definitely in exact results of that. This is like trying to humanize the PGA Tour and get fans, right?
I think it was even in. Oh yeah, definitely. They got lucky because they had this in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Live Tour, they're like, oh, like we have to make golf fun again.
So
how do we
Cameron,
do
to
that?
fill you in, the Live Tour is
I actually
like,
do know because they actually had a Live Tour contest up by my house recently in one of the golf courses.
Oh, really?
You said that.
Yeah, I drove by
Nice.
and it looked crazy. Like they were setting up quite the ordeal.
Cameron's like,
Yeah.
I know the Live Tour is goddamn making me late.
You think I don't know what the Live Tour is? For
Okay.
people
The
that
Sau-
don't know,
the
it's just
Saudi-
like a Saudi, version of the
Saudi
PGA.
Arabian backed like
It's like the XFL of golf,
tour. Yeah,
just backed by the Saudis. And
but they fronted all of these golfers
Like $40 million?
hundreds-
Yeah.
yeah, like millions of dollars, and just to like get up and leave, come play our events, and it was hard to say no for a lot of these.
they're
guys.
like, hey, you could join the seniors tour or we'll pay you $100 million. It's your
Up front,
ethic.
you don't
Yeah.
even have to
do
win.
that.
You just have to play.
You barely have to play. And you can wear shorts. And I
So
guess
that's
that was a
pretty
big deal.
and yeah,
That was a really big deal, actually. People were like, oh, what? This is blood money? Fuck it. I don't care. I can wear shorts.
They started doing like teams too. Like they've got the Vipers with like Dustin Johnson. And, like they're trying something different. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's kinda
fun.
funny
That's
to
almost
watch the
Legends of the
discourse.
Hidden Temple going on.
I
Which
can't-
reminds me, I think I'm behind on a season of Cobra
Silver-
Kai. Go on, sorry.
Oh, I just, outside of the dilemma of where the money's coming from, you can't blame somebody who's almost done with their career or will never be the best golfer in the world to take $100 million.
Or say I'm like up and coming and can't get a
Yeah.
chance, and it's like, oh, but you're gonna actually pay me a living wage to do what I love.
Living wage. You're going to pay me $100 million, Cameron.
Touche.
They're already
Dustin Johnson was like
What do you consider a living
Dustin
wage?
Johnson was like, this isn't even my passion. I just like like you golf, right? Sometimes like
Yeah.
this is fun. I get paid $1 million to do it.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I'm good at it.
What
Random-
have I been watching? I'll tell you what I haven't watched, but I'm super excited for, and I don't care what people are going to say about it.
Sure, go ahead.
Ted Lasso's back, I think.
Oh, I
Season
thought they were
3?
done.
No, season 3 just came out today, I think.
Unfortunately, that is Apple TV, right? And I don't think I currently have a subscription to it. It'll make
And
it a
then
little trickier.
this guy isn't a show you guys probably have watched, but Succession season.
You've
the
been
final
talking
season,
about it for a while.
It's just good. I
Did
was
you say
late
it's
to the
final
game.
season?
Yeah, which is great. So catch
Yeah, I
up
was about to
now.
say, so you're saying I can just marathon?
I think it's only the 4th of 4, so try it. You could get hooked. Spend a couple weekends.
Oh, and
I don't
also
know.
good for you. The Last of Us. Now you can just marathon all 8 or 9 episodes. It's all
Yeah,
out now.
I will watch any of these shows if Megan decides to watch them. I'm not as this is gonna sound weird. I'm not as prone to getting into a series as other people.
No, I get it. You're more of a movie.
I just
guy.
What
like
did you
movie
think
guys.
about that rollout where it's like one every Sunday, like how it used to be? Like
kinda
you
talked
had to
about
catch
it.
that 7.
I think the last
Yeah, did
episode,
we?
but
Okay.
I did kind of appreciate the nostalgia of just week to week,
Yeah.
cooler talk, building anticipation, even though I knew the plot. Well, it actually was interesting because it's been years since I've played the game. So, like, I know the bullet points and the big things, but, like, I kind of forgot most of the game. So it kind of was fresh each episode where I didn't exactly know where it was going, but I knew where it was ending.
I still like the week to week. The only thing that sucks about that in today's week to week in this day and age, everything's a cliffhanger. So it's like, all right, I got you. Okay, I'm coming back next week. Don't cliffhanger me every episode.
And
Well,
I will
also,
say,
if I-
just
if I-
the social media aspect of it too. It's really hard if you do miss that night not to have something.
If I
spoiled
miss
for
that
you.
night, I'm gonna see it on Twitter.
You're gonna see something
It sucks. Yeah. Dumbledore died. It just happened.
Or just like walking anything where there's like character deaths a lot, you're just gonna have it. Excuse me. Speaking of which,
I'm only on book 5. I've really been taking my. It's a really long book.
It's a really sad book.
It's a long book.
Speaking of which, this is video games, but I've been playing so much Hogwarts Legacy.
I've heard about that.
It's the best time I've had in my life. If you don't know, you're just playing in like the 1880s as a wizard at Hogwarts. It's just pre-Harry Potter. You just doing your own thing. I'm playing like a goddamn hero. I'm a Gryffindor. I've refused to learn the Cruciatus curse.
Do they play Quidditch?
You have brooms, but this year Quidditch is canceled because it seems like they didn't want to envelop that part of the game.
They're like, hey guys, sorry, Quidditch is canceled.
So there's flying, but we're not going to put a game in within this game because it's a huge map. It really is. You got Hogsmeade, you have Hogwarts, you have surrounding marshes and valleys of like the moors of Scotland.
I think
they did that with the early Harry Potter games too. They just made like a separate Quidditch game because they're like,
yeah, they probably should do that.
What are we doing? Are we actually making? Like
I'm so happy you bring that up
because
you denied for years that you had that game, and maybe it's a Mandela
no,
effect.
Is that recorded?
Oh God, I remember a vivid argument where you're like, I didn't have that game, but we spent like a winter playing that Harry Potter Quidditch game in your fucking room, and there's like 3 arguments I've never been madder, and that's one of them. The other's the semi thing, but. Oh God, that made me so mad.
Semi thing.
You said if
you want to bring it back.
It was like the movie The Matrix. If you're on a semi and it's moving, if you jump, would you stay on the semi? And it was a whole Newton's laws of motion stays.
Yeah. Newton had already proved
versus
it like,
air friction, and it was a big argument we had for years.
Well, I also had an argument with Ben. What is
our good friend Ben?
What is bigger or biggest? His argument was biggest. Mine's like, well, what if I'm bigger? For that moment. I mean, we're not going to get into this.
I think you can use them both in different contexts. Here's the question, the answer I have to, could you jump off of something when it's falling? Do this now that we're getting older. Literally stand up and jump up and down, and you tell me if you could do anything.
My knees might shatter.
Like, you're barely getting in the air right now, and you're falling way hard. You tell me. Not a chance.
But just quick on Hogwarts Legacy, fun stuff. If you are part of the,
this is what you watch and not what you're playing.
Yeah, what are you, Jesus?
But if you're part of the Pottermore universe, you get to upload your house already and some of your stuff. You get
what house are you in?
Well, I'm in Gryffindor right now, but I'm about to beat the game, and then I'm going to redo it.
I don't want to be rude,
evil.
But if you end up a Puff, they should be like, "Game's over, guys. You lost.
Game's over."
I mean, what would you want to play Puff for? You know what the hardest thing about being a Puff is?
To see every
you got to figure out where the fuck their common room is, because I don't think they have one.
Oh, they do, and it's in the gardens, and it's beautiful. Here's why
that's got to be made up. They're like, we have no source material on where it is. I can't reference the book. They've never said where their goddamn commons rooms is.
So that is the fun.
That's why in the movies Cedric Diggory is always falling from trees. They're like, we don't know where the fuck his commons room is.
Replayability though is big because of that. I want to go through as a Slytherin, and I'm going through really clean right now, but I'm going to go through evil, learn Cruciatus and Avada Kedavra, and kill a bunch of people in Hogwarts. It's going to be fun.
So there is a Grand Theft Auto aspect to it.
Yeah,
you just go murder.
Yeah, it's an RPG. You get to decide. I mean, it's like also you get to build your character. Mine accidentally looks like Daniel Radcliffe and sounds like him, but
you know what? Well, you've got
kind of like when you make a golfer in Tiger Woods, and you're like, it's Tiger Woods.
It's Tiger Woods again. I just made Tiger Woods.
I made Tiger Woods.
Also, I am trim. Oh my god.
Have you ever tried to back in the day in those like golf games accurately make your face? You're like, I look like Frankenstein's monster.
I look like a thumb.
This is not. Yeah, this is not.
My nose gets significantly.
Luckily, I spent 3 hours trying to make this look.
I spent 3 hours making a person that never existed ever. That face just never existed.
I'll say the most time ever wasted was building an accurate high school football team to my football team, and then accidentally leaving that in a movie in a movie gallery rental, and then just losing it forever.
We are verging on banter, and I want to get into that a little more. So maybe we.
I'll quickly catch you up on what I've been watching.
We'll go back.
This is super quick. Saw a movie in the theater. Saw Creed 3.
I do want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, Creed 3. What's the plot of this one?
Creed 3, it's boxing.
He's boxing, I believe.
You know,
Creed 3, he's boxing again.
he retired and he comes back, and there's boxing matches.
Remind me, in any of the Creeds so far, have we had a beach scene yet where it's slightly homoerotic?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
Not homoerotic, but I think he runs on the beach because in the first one he trains with Rocky. Spoiler alert! This is on
I
you.
remember going through the streets and the people on the ATVs and shit. That's
I think the second one he must do this one. This one though, I mean, you can't remake the wheel, so it is just a boxing movie. But it was emotional.
Sure.
It was good enough. It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eventually see it.
You know what's weird though? I think he's a leading man. He's a star, but I don't think Michael B. Jordan's charismatic in any way, outside of like
He's handsome.
he's
that's for
handsome
sure.
and he's ripped.
He's
but he's
charming
wildly
and good looking,
boring.
but he is a little boring.
He's super
But
boring.
Michael B. Jordan in Hello, Apollo.
In
No.
what? In
Put
what?
it out.
in
Chronicle?
Moneyball?
What's the boxing movie we're talking about?
Creed.
Creed.
Mhm.
I said Apollo. So Michael B. Jordan in Creed or Mark Wahlberg in The Fighter? What do you like better?
Michael B. Jordan still.
Probably Michael
Yeah?
B. Jordan, because in The Fighter, he's playing, like a boss guy. That's a much more dramatic movie, I believe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But it's still just Mark Wahlberg just kind of talking like this.
Yeah,
So,
but
I mean-
in the right role, where he's not
Sure.
playing,
It makes a little
There's
more
a-
sense there.
Okay, also, yeah, I did watch Finding Neverland.
Oh, you finally did it. Good for
Yeah.
you. Funny enough, guess what I put on last night and then immediately stopped? Seabiscuit.
Ooh, you're going to like it. Just give it a...
I put on like 2 minutes, maybe up to 5, and I was like, I'm not in the mood. It's just
So
going to
you,
be so
you didn't,
long and
you didn't even
brown.
get to Tobey Maguire, really. You were still the young-headed red boy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
I think his
Did
name's
not
Red in
get-
the movie. Anyway,
did not get
it's
far.
long and it's fine and it's good. But if you...
Is this something you guys have? Like, you should have watched Seabiscuit? Like, you got to tell.
So if you
It's
watch
like you don't
Finding
even
Neverland...
know Jordan, Mark.
Anyway, I watched Finding Neverland. It still holds up fine. It's whimsical enough.
It's a great
It's delightful. I really like it. And then you know what I did after it? This was not suggested to me because I had to watch Finding Neverland on DVD. I was downstairs with Avery and I'm like, you know what? We're just doing nothing. I'm going to put on Finding Neverland. I don't think it'll draw your attention. I was correct.
Highly doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Consumed it all.
Yeah,
Took it all
I
away.
hope so. I hope so.
don't know.
I hope
That
we
mother
lose
just
the
tried
choice.
so hard she didn't deserve it. Speaking of nostalgic things, also,
But
I'm
hold on, real
go
quick.
ahead. Yeah.
I piggybacked that off. I watched it like 4 days, like a classroom setting, like 20-minute segments. But Road to Perdition, I love that movie, and I think it's underrated.
Oh, it's like you're reading my mind. That's another one. I keep passing that thumbnail on something, being like, "Is it time?" No, I don't know.
If you
Maybe not.
can just get past the first 20 minutes of the funeral scene, that movie cooks.
As soon as they get going on the road, that's when the movie really picks up.
Yeah.
The beginning's a little boring. Yeah, I agree
Daniel
with that.
Craig's in it, pretty bad American accent, real
True.
bad American accent.
True.
Just make your
he still
son
looks-
British
He still looks like
himself.
either he's never aged or he's always been like older. I don't know what it is.
It's a weathered British face. It's
Yeah, I
kind of
think
like
it's-
how.
yeah. I think it's that.
It's like how Hell's Kitchen. What's the Gordon Ramsay's face has always kind of looked old, but now it is looking a little older. You know what I mean? It's getting weathered.
Yeah, that was like an Easter egg that I never had watched. That I know is just like
You would just
movie.
completely forget it.
I saw it like 2 years ago, and the ending is just oh my god.
It's a great ending.
It's a good movie.
Why
It's
are we
a
talking?
Haunting
bit
score.
boring.
It's borderline a heist movie in the middle. It's fun stuff.
It is
I'm a
movie.
nice guy.
Fucking crazy.
Jude
how
Law's
often Road
accent
to Perdition's
isn't
come
too
up.
bad. Jude Law's accent isn't too bad for an American.
He
I think
really
it's an
creeps
American
me out
accent.
in it though. He gives me like Billy Bob
Bad
Thornton
teeth,
vibes.
bad teeth, yellow teeth.
Oh, yeah, they're gross. Just for nostalgic things I've been watching in the background, I've done a lot of The Simpsons, season 10 in particular. It was the
Ooh.
Grease episode. My God, you're greasy.
That's a good one.
When Homer is trying to out invent Edison and he makes that chair that tilts backwards. When Bart shoots a bird and he feels bad about it and raises those lizard eggs. And with that one where Homer assists celebrities and he's with
Oh, Ron Howard shows up in that.
he sure does. Actually, Ron Howard's pretty funny in
He's in
that.
it a lot.
Season 10, because I kept going to the early stuff.
What's
and
our
I'm trying
Halloween
to-
special?
Yeah,
you
burn
burn out the
the
old
one
stuff.
where Maggie's alien, and
That one's not the best.
yeah, I didn't actually watch it. I was like, oh, this one's not the greatest.
Plus, like, you got to save him for Halloween. I get that.
I've also been doing I remembered we have Paramount Plus back, so I've just been rewatching like Nickelodeon shows. So watched a bunch of Rocket Power the other day. Awesome show from
so
my
good.
time. A bunch of extreme sport kids, but also a lot of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Season 2 and 3. I'm trying
Is that
to
all our classics?
see. I'm trying to avoid the classics and just catch some of that random stuff just to see what I remember. Turns out I remember it all pretty vividly.
Do this for me, because this is one I've been trying to catch for years. And when you say, what have you done to try to catch it? I've YouTubed it around Halloween. I really want to see their Sleepy Hollow Headless Horseman one.
Oh, here's the problem with that. I know they don't. They just don't have that on.
Right. That's the only one I want to.
They also don't have. Do you remember Fierce Soup? The one where they have like a pendulum like swinging in a restaurant and they're collecting like sweat.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
That one stars Nev Campbell. That's also not on streaming. There's one with Ryan Gosling. There's some with big stars that I think they took down, but some with big stars they kept in.
That's rude.
Yeah, I know. So some of my favorite episodes are missing, but a lot of the big ones are in there. It kind of sucks, but it's still nice.
I love that you can fuck with like spooky Halloween shit like all year round.
Who, me?
Yeah, you specifically.
It's been gloomy, it's just been stormy. God, that has the scariest intro maybe of all time.
Yeah. Scare. It's by far, there was only 2 intros as scary as that and Tales from the Crypt as a kid. And I'm like, Tales from the Crypt is too scary for me. But I bet it wasn't. I bet it was just dumb and cheesy.
In fact, I even think it has like bomp, 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 bomp. Like just
yeah, but I was
like
a kid,
No, I get it. I mean, the Crypt Keeper laughing at the end was terrifying.
That was it.
Comparing to like Goosebumps, like
Goosebumps. To me, like Goosebumps were for like kids that had bedtimes before the sun went down.
Yeah,
like it was so much.
It was Rod and Todd Flanders. Those guys.
No, it was just lamer. It was just way. No offense, if this is any of you out there, it's just way more lame than Are You Afraid
of the Dark? Similar. It was close. Equally Canadian.
Yeah, but like worse. It was just lamer, right?
Trying to think.
Does that mean just?
Honestly, I watched like maybe 6 episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? But
it was more wholesome, I feel like.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wholesome is maybe the word I'm looking for.
I mean, that's Nickelodeon versus what was that on? Fox Family at the time, maybe?
Yeah, it might have just been straight Fox.
Got to be a little more wholesome for that. That's kind of most of what I have written down for this week. What else do you guys have?
I mean, I did drop the bomb that I watched Finding Neverland.
It is pretty big, I'm not going to lie. And I started Seabiscuit. I will eventually maybe get
Seabiscuit's not for everybody. But it is for you, because I know you like genres.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, should I? I mean, for the longest time, you like Cinderella Man as one of your favorite movies.
It's such a great movie. If you take out Renee Zellweger.
Is a Seabiscuit like an item? Is that a thing?
I don't know. If it is,
it's a good name. If it's not, like it just never existed.
Mark, you know what? You're gonna have to watch a 3.5-hour movie to find out. Okay, it's not that long, but I bet it's.
They don't explain how they get the name. I don't believe.
So for this week's wrap up, your recommendation, your favorite thing you watched, what would you say?
I'm not going to give a recommendation. I will give a recommendation. I want to be watching March Madness.
That's coming up. Yeah, that is going to be coming up.
That's what I'm super excited for? We're all from Iowa.
Auburn.
I don't even give a shit if they get beat. Like, I'm prepared for that, but it's nice that it's actually a night game. It's not in the middle of the day, so I will get to watch it tomorrow night.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Jordan, your recommendation?
Road to Perdition.
Go and see the movie Road to Perdition from 2005, 3? I don't know.
I guess it's 3.
It's been a while. I'm going to say Knock at the Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan, David Bautista movie. It's actually just
I might watch that tonight.
It's a very good psychological thriller. It's just, it's fun. It's interesting. Check that out.
2002's Road to Perdition.
Oh, earlier than I would have thought, right after the millennium. Well, thanks for checking out the bonus content here from Cult Classics Podcast. If you want more content, make sure you listen to the whole episodes and our full thing. You can also find everything on the Majestic Jam Network, I'm Not Crazy, Urban Hermit Podcast, the Highwire Podcast. And until then, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.